Hello, everyone. I just want to read, I think, one verse here in Galatians 5 7 in the King James Version of the Bible. And then I'm going to turn over to Psalms and read a couple of verses. Is what I think I'm going to do. Uh, and this says, "You did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth?" I remember years ago, we're still down on Burns Avenue, so that had to have been uh, 40 years ago or more. I was a young man and hadn't had the Holy Ghost long, and I guess I was getting chastised. And I try to hold my head up. I always have. But this particular day, I was walking the sidewalk at Burns Avenue, had my head down, and I could tell somebody was meeting me. And I looked up, and it was this brother that I love so dear. And but we would really kid each other, and he would bust a sore on you nearly. And he said, "You did run well. Who did hinder you?" And I thought, "Oh my goodness, he knows I'm being chastised, and now everybody will." And um, but he was just kidding, and I didn't know. But that's really what I needed. So uh, years later, a brother died, and he died suddenly. And we went to the funeral home. It was out of town. Me and I think my son-in-law, Brother Todd Gaines, and we ran upon this brother at the viewing. And then later we left there and we went to eat uh, in another town, and that brother was there. And he started remarking about how good this brother that died looked. He said, "Didn't he look good?" I said, "Oh, he sure did." And he said, "I've noticed that when people die suddenly, they look better than they do if they linger." And I said, "Bud, I sure hope you go quick. I don't know if I could stand to look in your casket if you linger too long." And I know, brothers, uh, I'm a big cut up. And, Paul said, "Bear with him a little in his folly." Just pray for me. Just pray for me if that's not. Uh, but I know a brother, he said that when he was growing up, he grew up at Burns Avenue. And he said Brother Brown was the man over the church, and Brother Brown was very strict. And he thought that's the way it should be done by everybody every time. And he said he went up north, but they moved up north, and Brother Henry was the man over the church. And Brother Henry had a lot of cut up in him. And he said that Brother Henry was just as effective. Brother Henry had power with God and power with the lost. And he said that he saw uh, that you could be whatever the Lord wanted you to be. Uh, a lot of people start off good, but they get off track. And I'm trying to tell you today to stay on track. Uh, and just a little bit, they're way off track. I told you on another video that you could be off 10 degrees and just a little bit, 1 degree and just a little bit, you'd be plumb off. So discouragement, that's what gets us off track a lot of time. It can sneak in secretly uh, while you let your guard down. Discouragement can creep in, and discouragement is so bold. It would hide behind smiles. It'd ride to work with you. It'll go with you, and and if it doesn't catch a ride where you're going, it'll catch a ride where you on your way back home. Uh, it'll come in your house boldly and sit down at your dining room table with you while you drink a cup of coffee early in the morning. Discouragement will tell you life's not really worth living. Discouragement knows every language. It can talk to you in any language. It'll cause you to make bad decisions. We smile. I do. I've been in customer service or some kind of customer service job most of my life, and you have to smile. You can't come in and start complaining to the customer about how bad you got it. You need to be on the upbeat, and but it can hide behind the smiles, the good morning, praise the Lord, how you doing? How can I help you? Uh, You know, I had days it was bad when I was working in the public, but I had to keep a positive attitude. What's painful for people that's believers is that uh, while we face trials and perils of this life, we see the wicked go forward while seemingly we're held back. That's what makes it painful. If you was held back, but you looked at other people and they were too, it wouldn't be so bad. But when you see them going on, like being stuck on the road, and you have car trouble, seeing those other people go on while you're stuck, it's hard to deal with. While you're having trials, you look around and look like everybody else is having nothing but victory and triumphs. And to seeing them go forward while you're stuck, that's the source of your pain. It's really not your test that baffles you, but their success. And that's what caused David to say, fret not yourself because of evildoers. Because it will cause you to fret if you're looking. But it's like I said in another video, when we get up there, he's going to sort it all out. You don't have to fret yourself about what's going to happen. Because judgment's not executed speedily, some people think they're getting away with it, but you're not getting away with nothing. I'm not getting away with nothing. Nobody is. The steps of a good man, he said, are ordered by the Lord. Ordered by the Lord. It's not a suggestion. It's a process, though. And, you know, we must have a vision. I try to have a vision for our church. You need a vision for your family, for yourself. And but a lot of times you have this vision, but when you wake up in the morning, it hadn't got there yet, and you have to wake up to what is and not what's going to be. The hope deferred can make the heart sick. Like David, knowing that he was going to be a king, he knew that, but he still had to go back out there with the sheep. And so God might have shown you that whatever it is that he's gonna bless you in some way, but until you get there, you have to just keep continuing on like you are. Would you be a good father to your son if you gave him something too soon? I said in another video, you don't give a gold pocket watch to your child on the first day or the first year, because he might get a hammer and beat that thing all to pieces. You can't give the car keys to somebody that just turned 16 or whatever and get their driver's license and say take off to California. A good father would say not yet, and that's what our good father says. And the ability to handle a problem, that's what separates the CEO from the janitor. I heard a story about a man that they was wheeling him into the emergency room and to the hospital for operation or something. And it's not a true story, but said that the surgeons were tied up, and there was a janitor in the hallway, and he said, "They're tied up. So would you want me to help you? I've watched some of this and been around it for years." And the man said, "No, I think I'll just wait on a surgeon." So it takes experience. Experience doesn't come easy. And the higher up you go, the more problems you have. The janitor just has to do his job, but the CEO, he's got all the problems. You have to be patient with the process. We don't like the process, but you got to be patient with it. We come from an instant generation, instant coffee, instant oatmeal, whatever. We don't want to wait on nothing. And you know, you might not have wanted God to order steps. You may be saying, "I wanted God to order a blessing, not steps." It's like going to a restaurant when you was a kid, and you might have wanted to order something, but your parents said, "I'll order for you." And you don't want other people to order for you. But I trust God, and He's going to order those steps. He didn't just offer steps as an option. He ordered them. The only reason we have steps at home is so we can go up higher. That's what the steps are. You go up by steps, and then you go down by elevators. You know, you work yourself up. You love people. You love people. You do good deeds. You climb and higher, and then you talk about somebody, or act ugly with somebody. Have a little difference with your wife, and then it seemed like to me that you go down by elevators, up by steps, down by elevators. God is not preparing the blessing for you, but He's preparing you for the blessing. You know, my son is a truck driver for Frito-Lay. He's been with them about 17 years, and he drove for other companies. He's been doing it, I don't know, 20-something years probably. But I can't drive a 18-wheeler. That would scare me to death if I was in an 18-wheeler. I'd just be going down the road saying, "Oh, Lord, please don't let me kill nobody." But you can't drive an 18-wheeler like you would a VW. You have to do a little advanced planning, a little proper planning. You know, you got to figure out what roads you can go down and what bridges you can go across. You know, I found out too that successful people refuse to let the chaos around them overrule the conqueror that's within them. People that let the chaos overrule the conqueror within them, they just don't want success enough. And you could also measure a man by how hard he presses when the going gets tough. I like to say it's a pressing way. You have to stay on course to get to your destiny. Who did hinder you? The answer to that question may be in the mirror. I heard a little saying when I was in school, and it said, "I could be happy in this life, but everywhere I go, there I am." You could be happy, but you're always spoiling it. Somebody get a little angry, get a little hasty, or whatever. So stay on track, stay on course. Paul said, "I fought a good fight." He had a course, and we got to stay the course. So I've enjoyed getting this to you today. May the good Lord bless you. And I just want to be a servant that could help you from time to time.